It's Celebrity All-Star Hockey. Those same stars you see as you walk down Hollywood Boulevard will be shining tonight at the Boston Garden against the big bad Bruins alumni. It's a long way from those Hollywood hills.
So what's the big deal? Playing hockey with a bunch of old guys with names like Pie.
Pie needs a drink. Cashman after Pie Face.
How big and bad can these Bruins be? I mean, I scored off them.
Keep your head up, because I'm coming after you.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Boston Garden for the Celebrity Salute to the Boston Garden. I'm Dave Shea, along with Dan Moriarty. Those of you out there who follow Full House will recognize this face, and those of you that also watch the Deuce from time to time might recognize this sportscaster. Dan, pleasure to have you on board tonight.
It's a pleasure to be with a fellow Irishman in the booth. Thank you very much.
And a local lad, no less. Played his high school hockey in the western part of Massachusetts.
Yeah, the guys in Boston think that the state ends right about a halfway point, but we're Springfield boys. We need to be dealt with once in a while.
Those of us in the Boston area never did recognize the 413 area code. We're going to have a great time tonight. This will be the second time that the alumni have met the Hollywood celebrities as they came in. Must have been 7 or 8 years ago, huh?
I think it was 88, and fortunately I had the opportunity to play on the ice out there, and it was quite an experience. The fans in Boston, they kind of make you feel like a pro, even though we know we can't play like pros.
Now, you've seen some of the celebs speak in the open of this telecast. Both sides are going to have a lot of fun tonight, but there is just a little tinge of seriousness involved, Dan.
Well, there's a tinge of seriousness probably for a couple of reasons. One, the celebrities kind of want to prove that, well, yeah, we can play hockey, as opposed to a director saying, cut, let's shoot that again. The other thing is the Bruins, they don't want to lose their last game on the Boston Garden ice.
No, they don't want to walk out of here with a loss at any time, but especially an exhibition game and the last time they appeared before their home fans. Fortunately, we have strategically placed Gene Levanchi between the two benches so we can stay on top of the ebb and flow and the feelings on the two benches. We're going to check in with Gene from time to time, like now. Gene?
All right, Dave, Dan, thank you very much. My privilege and honor, really, to be roaming the bench area here tonight for this hockey game. And as you mentioned, there is a twinge of seriousness, but my job down here tonight will be bringing the funner aspects of it. We'll be talking with the guys between the periods from both the Bruins alumni team and, of course, the celebrities here from Hollywood. And certainly the Bruins, I overheard a few of them talking earlier, and they don't want to lose this final game in their house, the last time in their house, as a matter of fact. So maybe there will be a more serious twinge to this than we think. But we'll also be talking to some of the Bruins and some of the celebrities between periods as well. Should be a good time overall, and it's my pleasure to be joining you here tonight, Dan and Dave. Let's throw it back up to you guys.
All right, Gene, we'll be talking to you soon. The coaching staffs of these two clubs, kind of a dichotomy, wouldn't you say?
Chock full of talent behind the benches tonight. Probably more talent behind the benches than is actually on the ice. For the celebrities, they have Mr. Jack Kelly, the president of the Pittsburgh Penguins, a BU hockey coach, and an American Hall of Famer, NHL Hall of Famer. And then we have another Hall of Famer behind the Bruins bench, Bobby Orr himself, along with some guy named Derek Sanderson. Kelly seems to think that he has the brains that can outsmart these two guys. We're going to have to find out and see what he can pull off, because the guys in the white jerseys, I don't think can do it.
Now, if you've ever played sports of any kind, but especially hockey, you know how it can be in the dressing room prior to the start of the game. The coach loves to give you the pep talk. Of course, Derek feels he should have been in Hollywood, and he's just the guy to give a pep talk to the Bruins alumni squad. Let's listen in.
Slow in the warm-up, huh? Yeah, you guys didn't show me much in the warm-up, I have to admit that. You're a little older than they are, a little more experienced, a little faster.
You can tell from here anyway.
Senator Kerry, you'll handle the tough stuff, you and Terry.
Did you mean fatter or faster?
Fatter. Well, it could be fatter, but they're faster, you're fatter.
We all will.
It's a matter of pride, Bruins pride here. You got the sweater on. Do the right thing, win this game by a landslide. All right, Freddie?
They have all the makeup on, too.
Huh?
They're a makeup team.
They're a makeup team, yeah, they look good.
Somehow that isn't the Newt Rockne type speech I was expecting in the Bruins alumni room.
Derek was always good with the stick. I'm not sure with the tongue is his forte. However, the thing that the celebrities had going for them back in '88 was we had Kelsey Grammer in the locker room, and I have no idea who's there tonight.
Yeah, Kelsey Grammer and George Wendt, if I remember correctly, gave two inspiring stirring performances. I think the Broadcasting Hall of Fame requested the tape of both speeches immediately after the game. Jack Kelly is going to be in there. I don't know if Jack is going to speak to the troops. Let's get down to the celebrity dressing room right now.
Hold it now. Boys, we want to talk about the game preparation here. Now, we've had 2 days. We've had a lot of relaxation. We've had good fun. A lot of us come 4,000 miles for this game. This is our last game. We want to win at least a game a year. We haven't won yet, and I want to win a goddamn game. So what it's going to take is going to take a lot of intestinal fortitude, fellas.
Reach down.
Within yourself. You got to reach down there. Get the puck out of our zone. Fight for those loose pucks.
Forwards come back.
Forwards definitely come back. We got to let the defense stand up because we have our goalies are not that strong. We all know that. So we got to keep the shots from a long ways out, boys.
Our team wasn't standing up last night.
In 4 years we've had this. I played for 4 years. We've only won one game. I want to win more than one game, boys. We got to at least win a game a year. That means we've got to goddamn put our nose to the grindstone and grind it out. And you know what we're going to do around here?
Boy, what a touch, huh? Bringing Joe Watson, a Broad Street bully from the Philadelphia Flyers.
It honestly didn't look like Jack Kelly to me either. But you know the claim to fame that Joe Watson has here in the Boston Garden, and he'll tell you this: he was Bobby Orr's first roommate.
Right.
He was also Bobby Orr's valet on the road, and he claims that he scored his first NHL goal before Bobby ever scored his.
Gee, now see, there's something you can take with you on into the retirement years.
Don't believe Joe, though.
We're going to be back with the player introductions and introduce you to both the Bruins alumni starting lineup and also the entire roster of the celebrity stars when we come back here to the Celebrity Salute to Boston Garden. So stay with us. We're back at the Boston Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. The Celebrity Salute to Boston Garden is at the end of this year. The old garden will go down, and well, the new Fleet Center will be going up for the start of the 1995-96 season. You being a local guy, Dan, a little misty-eyed about the garden coming down?
Misty-eyed is one good adjective to put, but I'm wondering what's going to happen with the name of the Fleet Center. Is it going to become the Boston Garden still, which it should be, or are they going to change it to just the Fleet Center and people of Boston are going to forget the word garden? I don't think so, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, since here on Nesson we never know when we're going to want Fleet to do some advertising, it's probably going to be called the Fleet Center.
How about the Fleet Center Garden?
Not a bad idea. Well, while we start saluting the Fleet Center, let's get out onto the ice with KISS 108's Dale Dorman. Dale?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Celebrity Salute to Boston Garden. I'm Dale Dorman from KISS 108. We were a proud sponsor of this event, and thank you all for coming out for it. Right now, I would like to introduce to you the man who was the voice of the Boston Bruins for 30 years, Bob Wilson, who is going to introduce our celebrity team.
Thank you, Dale. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Celebrity Salute to this grand old building, the Boston Garden. Now, let's meet the stars of tonight's show. First, up in the Nesson broadcast booth from ESPN2 and Full House, the Celebrity All-Star Hockey Team's own Dan Moriarty. From Lethal Weapon 3 in Beverly Hills 90210, meet Jim Martin. From The Running Man and Touch and Go, Al Cleland. From the Mighty Ducks 1 and 2, and soon the Mighty Ducks 3, Jack White. From the cast of the famous Boston bar Cheers, please welcome Tom Babson. Our next skater is the creator of the Mighty Ducks and heavyweights. Here's Steve Brill. From Toonland comes this guy. You know him as the voice of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Raphael and the star of Warner Brothers Animaniacs, Rob Paulson. This next guy is no stranger to sports films, from Angels in the Outfield and the Babe Ruth Story, where he played Lou Gehrig. This Boston native wrote and will soon star in the Eddie Shore Story. Welcome, Boston native Neil McDonough. Our next celebrity all-star is also from Massachusetts. He starred in Falcon Crest and founded the Celebrity All-Star team. He's currently filming a new series, Pier 66. Here's John Bennett Perry. It seems a lot of Greater Boston boys go on to great things. After a stalwart hockey career at Princeton, this skater turned to the law and then to screenwriting. Now, he's the best at what he does. He's still the kid from Belmont, the creator of Picket Fences, Chicago Hope, and an Emmy Award winner to boot with LA Law. Here's David Kelly. This skater is no stranger. He was drafted by the Bruins in 1967, was taken by the Philadelphia Flyers in the expansion draft, and he went on to be part of 2 Stanley Cup winners in Philadelphia. Welcome, Joe Watson. Our next 2 skaters, no strangers to Boston music fans. From New Kids on the Block, Jordan Knight and Joey McIntyre. Our next skater is a hockey legend in film. First, he starred in the summer of '42, then played Killer Carlson in Slapshot. He went on to be the envy of every American male when he married Marcia Brady in The Brady Brides. Here's Jerry Hauser. From the Northwoods of Canada and the series Hawkeye, this actor has credits which include Wagons East and The Unforgiven. Please welcome Lachlan Monroe. Fresh from NYPD Blue on ABC, this actor now is seen in the fresh new NBC series Hope and Gloria. Please welcome Enrico Colantoni. Everyone knows our next skater is Max Headroom, but he's also played leading roles in The Stand, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and Dr. Doctor. Please welcome Matt Frewer. This actor broke onto the scene in the Eddie Keating Story. This past January starred in A Family Divided. Now he's the star of the new ABC series Extreme. Welcome, Cameron Bancroft. You can see our next skater in the upcoming ABC Movie of the Week, Spring Fling. But you really know him from the series The Wonder Years. Here's Jason Hervey. Our next skater hails from Toronto, where he stars in Kung Fu. The legend continues. A big hand, please, for Chris Potter. From the world of rock and roll and one of the best bands in the land, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, here's Chad Smith. Our next actor-skater has starred in Judgment Night, The Sandlot, and received critical acclaim in The Ref. Originally from Boston, please welcome home Dennis Leary. A long-standing member of the Celebrity All-Star Squad, this actor is known best for his starring role in Growing Pains. Currently starring in Hope and Gloria, please welcome Alan Thicke. Another Boston native, this actor is also a rock star. Currently, his song, Hold On, is #2 on KISS 108. You know him as Ray on Beverly Hills 90210. Here's Jamie Walters. Kids will recognize this next guy as Uncle Joey on Full House. Grown-ups know him for his hosting of America's Funniest People. Currently working and creating a new children's series, Mr. Woodchuck. Here's Dave Coulier. Our next celebrity all-star, one of America's favorite new hit shows. You know him as Chandler from Friends. Here's Matt Perry. Okay, girls, here he is from Beverly Hills 90210. Welcome, Jason Priestley. Tonight, coaching the Celebrity All-Star Hockey team from the bold and the beautiful, please welcome Ron Moss. Our next coach was Miss World in 1991. Welcome, Gina Tollefson. Returning to the Boston Garden bench, perhaps for the last time, former coach at Boston University, the Boston and New England Whalers, and now president of the Pittsburgh Penguins, Jack Kelly. And only in a game like this would the referee have credits. After a career at Boston College and in the National Hockey League, this gentleman officiated in Love Story, in Slapshot, and both Mighty Ducks films. Here's Steve Dowling. Now let's meet the Boston Bruins alumni legends. Starting in goal, #1, Reggie Lemelin. This skater joined the Bruins from the New York Rangers, and when he retired, he was a first ballot inductee to the Hall of Fame, Brad Park. Joining Park on defense, the newest ESPN hockey analyst, a Bruins all-time favorite on defense, as a player and a coach, Mike Milbury. Next on the blue line are two guys who played defense the old-fashioned way. They just hit you. From the Bruins of the 50s and 60s, a two-time All-Star Hall of Famer, Fernie Flaman. After 2 tours of duty with the Bruins during a 16-year NHL career, Dokey's back, Gary Doak. A knee injury or two cut this player's career short way too soon. A class act, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Gord Kluzak. With a career that spanned 21 seasons and 2 Stanley Cups in 1970 and 72, my partner, the Chief, Johnny Busick. Joining Chief on the first line are two of the more popular Bruins of all time, members of the 1972 Cup team, centerman Fred Stanfield and right winger Johnny Pie McKenzie. Now a player who grew up idolizing the Bruins, but public service was this guy's calling. Please welcome Senator John Kerry. With a Bruins career that spanned 1968 to 1973 and 2 Stanley Cups, he was always a crowd pleaser, Ace Bailey. Our most veteran Bruin on the ice tonight, this skater played for the Black and Gold from 1947 to 1955 and now is chief of the Garden's minor officials, Eddie Sanford. Our next skater has been called the heart and soul of the Bruins during his 14-year career. 1 year, 77-78, he led the team in scoring, points, and penalty minutes. Terry O'Reilly. Our next Bruins alumni legend has been described as one of the most electrifying players of his time. His nickname was Nifty. Please welcome 14-year veteran Rick Middleton. And rounding out the checking line, one of the game's best defensive forwards. Welcome back to the Garden Ice, Don Marcotte. Coaching the Boston Bruins tonight, Hall of Famer Woody Dumont, Derek Sanderson, and Hall of Famer Bobby Orr. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's game benefits 4 very worthwhile charities. Representing the United Cerebral Palsy Association of Metro Boston, Michael P. Ripple. Representing the Shriners Hospital of Springfield, Jack Butterfield. Representing the Pine Street Inn, the co-chairman of the Capital Campaign, Bob Walsh. And representing Youth Build of Boston, the Director of Development, Gary Daffin. Now, if we could have the captain of each team come to center ice, we'll have the ceremonial dropping of the puck, and Jason Priestley will do the honors. Anybody bring a puck?
I'll get a stick, you get the puck. All right. Almost. Might be the only one.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise as an up-and-coming New England vocal group, Touch sings our national anthem.
Well, Touch with the national anthem.
That was different.
And we're going to take a break, and when we come back, I think both sides will be ready to go. It's a celebrity salute to Boston Garden. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, we're just about set to go. Dave Shea and Dan Moriarty on board for the celebrity salute to the Boston Garden. Your referee tonight, Steve Dowling, who was introduced a little bit earlier by Bob Wilson, the legendary radio voice of the Boston Bruins. Of course, working the lines tonight. I guess everybody else was working, so we've gone to Nesson's own Bob Norton to handle the lines.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm out of breath already, and I already need help.
Just stay on that one line, Bob. You'll be fine.
Well, I'm going to stay near some of these older guys here. McKenzie looks, I don't know if I'm going to try to stay with him.
Former Bruin Tommy.
I think John Kerry's going to be right up my alley.
Yes, you've always been political, Bobby.
I don't want to be isolated when I fall either.
The bomber, Tommy Songen, former Bruin, the other linesman working for Steve Dowling, and we're underway as Freddie Stanfield controls the puck to Brad Park. He gets it to Reggie Level, and Reggie whiffed on the attempted punt, but now sends Pye McKenzie away, broken up momentarily by David Kelly. Here's Dave Coulier on the wing, looking for Alan Thicke, who had to reach back despite putting himself offside.
But we're not going to call that one.
No, no.
Well, the guy from Nesson is running the line, so why should we call that?
See, Bob likes the idea of running time. The fewer whistles, the shorter amount of time he's got to skate up and down.
And the sooner we get to the party.
Here's Stanfield in for McKenzie. Tries to slide it under Smith, and he somehow was able to cover up with help from David Kelly.
What it was, I think, is Pye is looking at too many of these new guys with the fancy passes out there, and he was just trying to give it a shot himself.
Chad Smith of the Red Hot Chili Peppers did a bit of a dance on this one.
Yeah, a red hot save by Chad. There you go, Chad. It's behind you. Come on, come on. There you go. It's like a drumstick. Jump on it. There you go.
There you go.
Thanks, Chad.
Celebs have a pretty decent cast, not only of characters, to pardon the pun, but
no, I think you're accurate right there. Leave it at that, Dave. Cast of characters.
Brad Park working along the near side boards, looking for help. Slides it to an open left wing, and the old warhorse, John Busick, is there.
You'll notice the celebrities will not play much position in this game because a lot of them aren't even sure what position they're playing. I think, oh, well, we got a breakout here. Check it out. Cameron Bancroft on the left-hand side. Across the front, backhand. That was about 6 feet wide.
That was Neil McDonough. McKenzie puts a shot back on Reggie Levelin. Reggie's beginning to think he's a man on an island out there.
The celebrities have 2 shots on net, both off of Bruin sticks.
Joe Watson, the former Flyer, he obviously takes great pride in coming in trying to beat any kind of Bruin team, even if it's the alumni team.
Yeah, it makes him very happy. He talks fondly about the Broad Street Bullies and the Big Bad Bruin series that went on for so many years.
Well, there's a combination you saw work many times. Stanfield setting up Busick. Chief shot it just wide. And John makes a good play at the line.
Busick may have heard this contract's being offered pretty soon. He's out there really hustling. Cameron Bancroft back his own. Oh, that red line got in the way. There you go, Cam. Oh, beautiful pass out.
Centering pass. Out in front.
Jason Hervey. The man people love to hate from Wonder Years. Jason loves that.
Donnie Marcotte checked as he tried to center it to Stanfield. And Bancroft back for the celebs.
Again, Bancroft's had the puck a few times already in one shift.
He knows where the camera is.
And his career says it, too.
He says the camera will follow the puck. I want to be where the puck is. The crowd, no matter who he's playing for, oohs and ahs when Terry O'Reilly's on the ice. Middleton didn't connect with O'Reilly, and the celebs will start it back.
Matt Perry from Friends, Mr. Chandler himself.
Oh, Cleland centering.
That's Lachlan Monroe out there. He was a ball player. He played in the he played in juniors, and he played a little bit in the WHL before it went defunct. But he hurt his knee and didn't get a college contract and became an actor instead.
Matt Perry with a good shot, forcing Levelin to flash out the right pad. Cleland's shot set up nicely by Monroe in the slot, went wide. There's Gord Kluzak.
And you can't say went wide. Did you say whistled it wide?
No, I'll use that later when he actually whistles one wide.
That may be the hardest one he gets. You know?
Here's Middleton with a shot. Smith with the save and a quick whistle.
End-to-end action here.
Geez, they'll have to break out the oxygen if they keep this pace up.
Well, the celebrities have 5 lines, so I think they're set for this kind of pace.
There's Rick Middleton. A nifty one moving in. A little flip backhand. Smith got it with the left pad.
Chad, keep your legs together. You'll be just fine out there.
Now, how long has Chad been playing with you guys?
Chad, this is his first season. It's probably his 3rd or 4th game this year. In fact, he's only been playing goal for a couple of years. So you got to give him credit. He's out here against the Big Bad Bruins playing netminder here and doing well for himself.
Jeez, he looks pretty smooth so far.
He's a drummer. It's part of his job.
Dump it and going after it. Steve Brill, the creator of Mighty Ducks 1 and 2 and about to become 3, huh?
Yes, he's presently writing it right now, in fact.
Any chance you'll get a spot in that?
I think the kids are going to be probably in high school. So
I thought maybe a coach. I didn't mean as one of the kids.
Well, I used to look younger than this. These road trips, I guess, put some age. Oh, nice play. Ace Bailey tried to stay onside.
They're always trying to stay one step ahead of the Senator. Ace that time one step too many. Ace Bailey, a Edmonton Oilers scout. There's Senator John Kerry. Please, the Democrats in the House or the Senate.
Yes.
I meant this House.
Yes, I know.
Oh, nifty move by the Senator. We were wondering just how much prowess he might have tonight. Well, that certainly answers the question early.
Here's Matt Frewer.
You remember Matt, folks, of Max Headroom?
He just finished filming Lawnmower Man 2, which is going to be quite a high-tech film. And another National Lampoon film. He is a teacher on vacation with a bunch of kids from Toronto going to the Senate Capitol or something like that. I'm sure it's going to be quite a fun trip.
Steve Brill through the circle. Levelin with the save. Reggie went down and stayed right with it.
There's Dave Kelly on the point. David played hockey at Princeton. He was the captain of Princeton, in fact. And he comes from quite a hockey family. His brother is the general manager of the team in Moscow, owned by Howard Baldwin, the owner of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
No kidding.
Yeah, the hockey family all the way through.
Chad Smith very active in goal, getting out and handling the puck that time to help himself out. Here's Kelly looking to make a play, checked all the way by Brad Park.
Stays with it, though. 3 guys in front All the Bruins are up at the blue line trying for the breakout.
Tom Babson is centering pass and a quick save. Great save off of Enrico Colantoni.
And knocked down in front. Some work in front of the net. The Senator got put down.
Watson trying to go wing to wing, threw it into traffic, and Busick starts it back. Chief over the line, stick handling, tried to set up Stanfield. He was broken up. Kluzak keeping it in along the right side. Gordy centering, looking for Busick, not there. 2-on-1 for the Celebs, coming back. Walters and Colantoni. Colantoni couldn't hit Walters with the pass. Park from deep in his own end.
Many times with that breakout, Brad Park, the smoothest guy behind the net.
Here's Busick with Stanfield, Carey, and Kluzak. Chief's going to do it on his own. A wraparound. Centering for Park, a high shot off the cage of Smith. That rang his chili peppers.
I'm not sure he knew that was coming.
Tom Babson over the line. Centering pass for Jamie Walters. Didn't work. Yeah, I'm impressed with the Celebs' ability to find the open spots. They're just missing on connecting on these passes. Here's Pye McKenzie. Indeed, look at him.
Oh, the one arm. Look at that.
Johnny Pye still has it.
Jack White coming out of the corner. Oh, Jack went down hard. But he's back up. Jack did all the training of all of the young actors who had never played hockey before on Mighty Ducks 1 and 2.
That's got to be a job.
He put him in a 6-week training camp, just like a pro camp, because Jack played a little bit of hockey in Dallas with the IHL.
Oh,
there.
Glove save off of Don Marcotte. Stanfield threw a bullet on Chad Smith, and then the rebound by Marcotte, and another save by Chad. We're scoreless with about 13:07 left to go in the first period. We'll be back to the Garden in a moment. Well, as we get set to resume action, let's get down to Gene Levanchi, who's standing by with Bobby Orr. Gene?
All right, Dave, thank you very much. Coach Orr tonight, and you've assembled a heck of a squad here, Bobby.
They're not listening. We could go down.
Line changes seem to be the biggest concern here.
We have short line changes. They don't stay out there too long, but it's a fun night. As you can see, the Hollywood Stars are here in great numbers, and it's a lot of charities that are going to benefit from this evening, and we're having a lot of fun doing it.
Who's the one guy you've earmarked on the celebrity team here to watch out for?
Well, my old roommate, Joey Watson. I don't know how he get in with the Hollywood Stars, but Joey's is still skating very well. But, you know, on our team, watch Johnny Pye still skating as well as Gordy Kluzak is skating very well. So it's fun, and our guys are having a great time.
All right, Bobby, thank you very much. The one man here who's getting more cheers and more attention than Jason Priestley is Bobby Orr. Back up to you guys.
All right, Gene. I understand somebody mistook Gene Levanchi for Jason Priestley earlier tonight. That's Gene's highlight of the year.
Lucky Gene. That's a highlight of a lifetime, it looks like, in this town.
Coulier on the wing for Thick. The way everybody slowed down, I thought they were calling offside. I think everybody ran out of gas. Got a 3-on-2 for the alumni. O'Reilly with Middleton and Marcotte. This is Marcotte looking for Middleton, broken up. Good check by Al Cleland. Say one thing, these celebrity stars do get back and play a little defense.
Because they can't play much offense so far. They're getting shots on net here.
There's a tough angle and a score. Rick Middleton from an almost impossible angle. Blast one by Chad Smith. And the Bruins alumni go on top 1-0.
That was quite a shot. I can't really blame Chad for that, can you?
That was nifty is what it was. Look where he'll shoot this from. The bottom of the circle.
Now that was a pro shot all the way.
Chad's saying to himself, now,
here we go.
He can't possibly shoot that in. Well, now they're
Boston
examining
goal scored by Rick Middleton.
Pictures being taken. See, they never made this big a fuss when he scored in the NHL. Oh, setup. It was a setup. Middleton from O'Reilly and Doak at 8-12. Well, Rick, what do you think of that? He never saw it coming. Never saw it coming.
That's the one way we can get him off the ice. Have him go to the shower now. No more of those goals.
Well, let's watch this one, Hervey.
Oh, slow motion here.
Potter
oh, that looks
setting
good.
him up, and naturally, the practical jokester, Dennis Leary, the one to deliver the pie. Well, Rick, very nice.
Dennis probably idolized him as a kid, and now he had a chance just to live out some of his fantasy. Smack him in the head.
Now, Middleton was always a gentleman as a player. I wonder if this might bring out the worst in him. Kelly playing it back for John Bennett Perry, Matt Perry's dad.
John Bennett Perry was the man who began this team 9 years ago. He was the catalyst behind getting this going.
I remember he was quite active as a player when the Celebrity Stars came in the last time they were at the Garden.
Oh, John gets really wrapped up in the games. Right now he's really a cowboy. He lives up in Ojai. He has a ranch with about half dozen horses, 20 head of cattle. And there you go.
Well, Terry O'Reilly thought Donnie Marcotte had poked in the goal, but it was waved off immediately by referee Steve Dowling.
See John Perry in front of it, not clearing his people out. Thinking about his horses too much, probably.
You be the judge. Is this a good goal or not?
Oh, the whistle already.
Oh,
no.
Gotcha. Good call. Naturally.
The man from Nesson blew that one dead, didn't he?
Marcotte working in the corner with Neil McDonough trying to clear. Can't do it. Park keeps it in left point. Park, little dipsy doodle at the left point. Around McDonough. Park moving in for O'Reilly. Back to Brad. Park, top of the circle. Wrist shot. Save with the glove by Chad Smith.
Fancy feet, Brad Park.
10:53 remains in this first period. The Alumni with a 1-0 lead over the All-Stars. Back at the Garden on Nesson in a moment. Play on with the Celebrity All-Stars on the attack. Dennis Leary dumping it in the corner. Former Bruin defenseman Gary Doak first on it. Eddie Sanford up ahead for Kluzak. Long loping strides of Kluzak into the right circle. Tries to center. Pass was tipped away by Joe Watson. Senator John Kerry couldn't make the play from in deep. The Hollywood Stars started back.
That's Matt Perry. And the offsides on Dennis Leary. They're not going to call that. The whistles are in the pocket.
Score! Perry on a rebound of a Leary shot.
Dennis Leary was standing behind Reggie when that puck came across center ice.
Well, he was onside. He was on Reggie's good side.
He was, exactly.
Well, Matt won't make many friends of the Bruins alumni with this score.
Matt Perry. Oh, what a blast by Matt.
Gordy Kluzak can't believe it. Kluzak says, where did he come from?
Dennis Leary, he's playing football again over. He's offsides on every play.
Oh, we've got the young ladies in the crowd here oohing and eyeing as Jason Priestley is making his way into the booth. I notice his jacket isn't torn, his tie isn't mussed. We'll speak with Jason momentarily. The Alumni on the attack is Senator John Kerry. Is hooked by Leary, no call.
Getting wrangled down again, Senator.
Lachlan Monroe for Leary, moving in for Monroe on the right wing. Centering pass, looked for Matt Perry, didn't work. Backhander by Monroe is blocked. Doak and Monroe go to the corner. Monroe wins that battle. Leary tried to center for Monroe, it was checked. And Gordy Kluzak starts it back for the Alumni. The Bruins alumni 1-1 with the Celebrity All-Stars. Ace Bailey in deep. Bailey centering for Eddie Sanford. He's tied up. Kluzak down low for the Senator. Off his skate and tied up by Chad Smith. I want to welcome Jason Priestley to the booth. Jason, good to see you.
Good to see you. Dan, how are you?
Jason, I'm very well. How you doing, bud?
Doing fantastic.
I've got to ask you, I know why I'm not in uniform because they conned me into doing this thing. But why aren't you in uniform?
Well, a couple weeks ago, I had a little basketball accident, tore some ligaments in my ankle, and I put on my skate last night hoping that it would be okay, and it wasn't even close, so there wasn't even an option to, just tape it up and go out anyway.
What is this, basketball? You hockey, basketball, racing cars?
Yeah.
A man on a mission.
I'm a man on, I don't know what the mission is, but I'm on it.
Should be on Wide World of Sports at this pace.
Yes, and he'll be the agony of defeat at this pace also.
or the agony of the ankle.
Yeah, there you go.
What do you think of the game so far, Jace? We have 1-1 tie here.
This is a good game. I noticed there's been a lot of really good hockey being played out here tonight. This is a good game. Both teams have brought out some good players. This is a lot of fun.
Well, we've got a trade, I think, going on here. We've got a few players, it appears. being dealt from the Celebrity All-Stars.
Brad Park looks like he's illustrating this one.
Team.
Yeah.
They just traded Walters and McDonough for 6 hockey sticks. Unbelievable.
I think
you know, I've heard of guys in baseball being dealt between games of a doubleheader, but never between shifts of a hockey game.
They called them off the ice just now for that
I'm
one.
curious how those 6 sticks factor into the salary cap on these teams.
I think the Celebrities get the better end of the deal on that one, too. We've seen McDonough skate, and, you know.
McKenzie down the right side. Hooks up with Busick. Mike Milbury back for Fernie Flaman. Flaman. Snap wrist shot. Was blocked out in front. Al Cleveland. Good defensive play. Uh-oh, look out. Busick setting up. Looking for McKenzie.
Beautiful play.
They worked that to perfection in the
Not
early
much
70s.
chance for Chad Smith on that one, I'm afraid.
Time has done nothing to diminish that combination.
Those two have done that how many times? Have we ever? Look at this play. Oh, yeah. You know, Chad Smith has missed on 2 tonight so far, but I can't blame either one on Chad. He's been beaten by proficient professionals.
Let's get downstairs to Gene Levanchi. Gene, what's going on with this trade?
We're trying to find out. Bobby, what is the word on this trade here? Bobby, you said you didn't like this deal for your club. Why is that?
Oh, I think we got we got too much.
You got some sticks thrown in, or is that what you gave up?
5 sticks. We had 6. We gave 1 back.
I don't know. The wheeling dealing continues down here, Dave, and something tells me it may continue. We'll keep our eye on it for you.
Matt Brewer with a shot. Saved by Lemelin. We'll get back to you, Jane, and see if we can't get the final details on this. Lemelin went down, made the save, and Busick starts back. Has Stanfield and McKenzie with him. McKenzie for Stanfield. Shot. Oh,
nice save.
By Chad Smith.
Way to go, Chad.
Heck of a save by Chad there.
Chad may get a contract offer before this night's over.
He's looking sharp in his Tampa Bay Lightning pads out there.
Centering pass looking for Paulson. Didn't work.
Here comes a 3-on-2. Look out.
By
Look
McKenzie
out.
again. Johnny Busick. Over to Freddie. Nice play again.
McKenzie. I says, look, I don't want to go to the well too often.
They hurry. They got a 3-on-1.
4-on-1 for the Celebrities. Look at this. Dave Kelly following it up. There it is. That was Steve Brill on that one.
Well, celebs say if the Bees alumni can do it, we can do it too.
That's what happened. Steve Brill passed it off, gets it back. Charity happens in this game.
McIntyre, the new kid on the block, makes the centering pass, and Brill flips it home. We're tied again at 2. 7-11 remains in this first period. Our score 2-2. Back in a moment. All right, let's quickly go back down to the bench area. Let's get caught up on the details of this incredible in-game trade. James?
Well, there's been some big movement down here. Jamie Walter, how do you feel about being moved mid-game? I mean, come on.
You know, most guys would probably be sore about having their team kick them off, but this is one trade I'm super happy about.
Got some pretty good teammates here on this side of that.
I got a couple guys I've watched them play since I was a little young guy, and this is pretty amazing.
Let me get Matt Perry there next year. Matt, number 30 in your program, wearing an old Jim Craig jersey, traded midstream here. What's the deal?
Well, it's clear to us that Boston needed some help up front, and so they called me up. Not most trades, you know, you find out over the weekend, then you head over, but this is in the first period, so I think we're breaking some records here.
They traded you for a bunch of sticks. Some people in the stands are thinking that they gave up too much.
Well, and there was also a used puck bag involved, I think, so it's okay. It all evens out.
All right, well, we'll see how they perform in the white jerseys now, guys.
All right, Gene, we've got the celebs on the attack again. Watson centering out in front for Babson. Oh, he tried to tuck it behind Reggie, and the old man in goal, Reggie Lemelin, wouldn't bite for it.
I've got a question, though, Dave. I want a program because Jamie just said when I was a young guy. Some of these guys are my fans. How old is he? He looks like he's about 16 or 17, right?
He looks like a young guy.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Well, Jamie actually is about 25 years old, guys. I know because I work with him, and he grew up here in Boston, so he's a Bruins fan from way back. He's actually a pretty good hockey player too, and the kid can sing a little bit too. So
that's what I hear. He's got a #2 hit out on the radio right now.
Yeah, he's doing really, really well. Very nice guy, very talented man.
He doesn't have much going for him, huh?
No, it's really a shame.
And it's too bad it's coming at the end of his career, huh?
Yes, he's so old now. He's got to get out more, do more things.
He does.
Get more involved.
He's got a work ethic problem.
And here he comes.
Was that Matt Perry that
side.
made the pass with these new jerseys? I'm not sure who's who anymore.
We got McDonough at center with no helmet on.
Go!
Matt Perry on the right wing, and Jamie Walters playing the left side out there. And into Chris Potter. Oh, sure. The first offsides they called all night is on our team.
Yeah, naturally. Somehow I wonder if the linesmen are just a little bit biased. You know, Bob Norton in particular. Hey, Bobby.
Songen's ruining the flow of the game.
Can you keep up?
This game had a hell of a flow to it before Songen made that call.
Fewer whistles, right, Bob?
This is like summer hockey. It was
Jamie
beautiful.
tried it.
You notice I haven't made any of those foolish calls. I don't want to bend down and pick up the puck.
Keep the flow going, Bob.
I don't think Bob has a whistle, does he?
Is that going to get past standards and practices, right, that comment there?
When Bob starts yelling, he doesn't need a whistle. You can hear him out in North Station. Walters throws it to an open right wing.
That's Neil McDonough.
Neil McDonough.
The man who's going to play Eddie Shore.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that when we get a whistle. Of course, we won't get it from Norton. He just explained that. But
The way this game's going, we may not get a whistle until the period's over, which is 5 minutes from now.
Alan Thicke shoots it high.
Number 98.5. He is 1.5 percentage point below the great one himself.
He's just not quite as good as
He's
Gretzky,
not
is
quite.
it?
There's one step slow on there. Maybe that's a half a step, in fact.
Ooh, drop pass for Doak.
Oh, heck of a shot.
Neil McDonough dropped it back for Gary Doak, who had the reputation of being a true defensive defenseman when he played, but he showed there he could jump up into the play and make it happen.
But I think he had a press conference before the game and a little pep talk from his coaches. There was no such thing as a defensive player in this kind of game.
Only offensive and very offensive.
That's what. And if this keeps up, we'll be in trouble.
Oh, Doker with a nice wrist shot. Chad Smith needs a little help. He's done everything possible to keep the celebs in this thing in the first period. Well, now somehow Bob Norton found himself in the center faceoff circle. Norton, what are you doing?
I'm about to be mic'd up when Fernie's really getting on me. It's bad.
Should we keep your mic potted down?
He says I can't bend down to pick the puck up.
Truth always hurts, Norton.
I already fell down once trying to pick it up.
And that was 5 years ago.
Got to put Velcro on those pucks. Senator Kerry tries to guide it in with his skate. Jason, how soon do you think you'll be back on the ice?
I should be back pretty soon. I think I think I got a couple more weeks on this ankle, and then I'll be right back into it.
Aside from the show, anything cooking this summer for you?
Well, I think I'm actually going to take a vacation this year. It's been about 5 years since I took one, and I think I'm just going to hang around this summer.
Now, you guys always take exotic vacations. Thailand or Pago Pago. Where are you headed?
I'm probably headed to my house.
To Ojai. Maybe Santa Barbara. I don't know.
I have a house up in the Santa Barbara area, up north of Los Angeles, and that's probably where I'm going to end up. That's not too exotic.
Well, hey, it sounds good to me. In fact, Dan and I were talking about taking a vacation. Maybe we'll go to your house, too.
Come on over. The beer is cold. The sun is hot.
That sounds like a winning combination.
There's nothing wrong with Southern California.
Cameron Bancroft showed some nice moves before being checked.
The star of Extreme, that new Thursday night show on ABC.
Cam's another Vancouver boy.
Oh, quit showing off.
Another Cam from British Columbia.
Just another Cam from British Columbia.
Centering pass. Hervey's shot was blocked. I think Freddie Flaman may have gotten a piece of that. Joe Watson.
Pinching again.
Shoots it wide. Johnny Busick starts the rush. He has Stanfield and Carey with him. Carey couldn't connect with Stanfield. Watson being tied up in deep. Now, he's seen Stanfield and Busick before.
And Dennis Leary's out here at center ice again. I'm not sure Dennis Leary has seen his defensive zone yet.
He hasn't seen the other side of the red line.
Heck of a move.
Potter in. Oh, and a save by Levelin.
Chris Potter put the moves on out there on John Bennett Perry. Another trade from the celebrity team.
Stanfield for Busick, for Perry.
Now, I just want everyone to notice where Dennis Leary is down here, right in front of the Boston goal.
See, well, John,
the only defensive zone he has seen has been Boston's.
I think he must be good friends with Reggie Lemelin. They're just down here trading secrets.
Dennis doesn't understand you're supposed to glide horizontally with the blue line, not deep in the zone.
He goes back and forth, doesn't he? He's getting a workout, though.
There it is. He's got a breakaway. He's checked.
Here comes Chris Potter again. There he goes.
Chris Potter. Lemelin went down. Potter went upstairs.
That was a frozen rope.
Reggie gave him a look afterwards as if to say, wait a minute, I didn't know you guys could do that.
You're the celebrity team. Who can shoot the puck like that? Chris Potter, another Canadian boy out here.
Oh, he gave him a little look down low. Reggie bit for it, and he went up top.
He dropped the left shoulder like a professional.
Outstanding. Hey, I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
So are we.
You guys recognize any of these guys you play with?
We know them.
Are they really the same guys?
Well, Chris Potter does play a lot of hockey and has played. He played juniors up in Canada. And he has quite a hockey.
Oh, here comes Rob Paulson with a chance.
Paulson waiting for help, looking for Brill out in front. Oh, a save by Lemelin.
Brill looking for a second goal tonight.
Matt Frewer pitches along the board.
Nice, Matt Frewer working behind the net, gets it back to the point. Al Cleland throws it right back in. Reggie Lemelin out to handle it. Reggie never did that much in his career.
Oh, here's a 2-on-1 break for the Bruins.
Stanfield and McKenzie. Here's Pye.
One more time. Oh, Al
One
Cleland
pass
gets back.
too many.
You know, I noticed Al Cleland looks a lot bigger this year. I think he's been doing a lot of weight training. He pumped up for this game pretty hard.
Al has been working out quite extensively on the bike and the pasta.
Now, what did you guys have for pregame meal? Jason's lost it here.
I'm in trouble.
Dan came out with one of those that comes from the heels. And if he sees Al Cleland again before they leave Boston, it'll be too soon.
I'm dead. Once again, Al Cleland, another Canadian hockey player we have here.
Paulson and Brill drop back for Frewer. Frewer shot gloves.
Heck of a save by Reggie Lemelin.
And that's going to do it on the period. Matt Frewer saying, if I had only had just a little more headroom.
I'm
sorry.
You were studying that from last night, weren't you?
Let
me see your notes.
It was stuck right here, and I kept trying to force it back down, and it came out anyway.
Let's see that. Let's see that. That save.
Here's Frewer trying to use the defenseman as a screen. Lemelin had that one all the way.
A little more headroom. That was beautiful. The Celebrities on a 4-on-1. You got to question the defense of the Boston Bruins on that last play.
Is there a brawl going on, or are they just having trouble getting off the ice? No, it appears it's a peaceful exit for both clubs. Well, the first period was a beauty. And that's our score at the end of one. The Celebrity All-Stars 3, the Bruins Alumni 3. We'll be back with our first intermission on the Celebrity Salute to the Garden in just a moment. Well, welcome back to the Boston Garden. We're between periods 1 and 2 in a 3-3 tie between the Celebrity All-Stars and the Bruins Alumni. You know Dan Moriarty. You saw him prior to the start of the game. And I know you know Jason Priestley, who joined us during the first period. This is your first trip up into the booth, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I haven't made it up here yet. And, I know why you guys hang out up here. It's kind of cool. Got a good view of the ice. This is cool up here.
There is not a better seat in the house in the Boston Garden than right here.
No, this is about it. So
he's already thinking of dumping Hollywood for sportscasting. Is this kind of getting your juices flowing?
Well, this is kind of good up here. But you are the man at this. The two of us are kind of like bumbling idiots up here.
And if you saw the check stuff, you'd stay right where you are. You wouldn't want to make the switch. Trust me. It was an entertaining first period, kind of a tit for tat. And I got to tell you guys, I'm impressed with the way the Celebs played through the first 20 minutes.
I think they played rather well. Personally, with all the guys they had out there, I'm surprised they had the intensity that they had, because when you have 4 and 5 lines, of course, things tend to slow down, which is why I think Jack Kelly, the man behind the bench, the Hall of Famer, pulled off those trades. Kind of lighten the load over there, get the guys some more ice time, give the dead weight to the Bruins. That's what he did.
Well, these games are for one reason only, and that is to raise money for numerous charities. The Celebrity All-Stars do it all the time, traveling around the country and Canada playing these games to raise money. The Bruins Alumni, they're very active as well. We'd like to show you how they help kids around the state.
Here comes Stanfield, a good feed out. 2-on-1, back to McKenzie. His shot. It's all tied up.
You know him as Pye. Welcome back, Johnny McKenzie! Oh, it is a great feeling, and I guess we had a team that was really so exciting in 69 to 72 when I left. I guess it stayed exciting after I left, of course, but people appreciated that, and everybody watched the hockey in those days, and they can still recognize it.
Busick across to Stanfield. Here's Busick walking in. Goal! It's good enough indoors. And for the Chiefs, his 13th goal of the year.
Man, how'd you get dressed so fast?
One-piece suit.
Yeah, when you get older, it takes a little longer.
And Buffalo has 3 power play opportunities.
Here's Park to draw, to shot. It trickles in. It's knocked away. Park with it. Scores! Brad Park wins the game. Brad Park, a rebound. And the Bruins win 3-2.
You know I'm serious about doing this.
The Boston Bruins alumni team travels throughout New England, and last winter raised over $1 million in funds for local youth hockey programs and charities. Hall of Famer John Busick is the alumni's vice president.
Well, it originated quite a few years ago. Herb Ralby, who was our PR director back in the 50s and 60s, started the team and began with Eddie Sanford and a few of the real old-timers, and then we just continued on with it. And in the last 4 or 5 years, we've built it up to where we play about 20 games a year for different charities.
It was about 3 years ago I called up there and talked to Mr. Busick about doing this. He said he put us on the list, and they called us last April and said we can put you on the list for this year, and here we are. So all the money goes for the kids in youth hockey. We have over 300 kids from Bourne Sandwich and Wareham, and this all goes to them. And they're terrific guys. Talking to them before, they were talking to the kids, and they're really, really nice guys, every one of them, and we're really glad to have them here.
For the players, it's a chance to stay in touch and reminisce about the good old days.
Yes, it really is. Everybody's going their own separate ways now, and a lot of guys did stay in the Boston area, and it's a way to twin hockey and golf tournaments and stuff. It's a great way for the guys to get together.
No, it's great for us to come back, and people still, the part still remember the players, and for us it's just a big party. We're having a good time, good bunch of guys together, and we have a lot of fun together.
Well, I think it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it at my age. I'm just having a lot of fun, really.
For the fans who attend, it's a chance to rub elbows with some of hockey's greats.
I have all the old pitches from the 70s, all the ones that I grew up with. I saved all the pitches that I had when I was a boy. I gave to him about a year ago, and he's cherished them all this time. These old-time players, have some of the better abilities, the basics of hockey that began. So it's good to see them get out here and show the coaches what to do. I'll tell you, when it comes to autograph time, we get more of the parents than you do the kids. And then you see the parents in the background pushing their kids up, go get his autograph, and they say, well, who's he? Never mind, I know who he is. Get his autograph for us. So it's a lot of fun, and we enjoy it.
I'll be 50 next year, and I know that most of the parents know you, and the kids have to sort of introduce who you were and who you played with and what team you're, I was on the 1969-70 Stanley Cup, and all those kids weren't born back then.
A lot of times the kids don't know who you are because you're not part of their everyday what they see on TV. But the parents do remind them, say, "Hey, listen, this guy was a pretty good hockey player, and enjoy the way he plays." So we have a lot of fun.
Great bunch of guys doing a lot of great things for a lot of people in the state of Massachusetts and throughout New England. These guys are just like the Bruins alumni in terms of doing great things for a lot of people. Charities all around the country, none in particular, but it just depends on who's going to affect the most people in the city you're in, huh?
Well, we go, when we schedule to go into a city and do a game, we find out what the charities there that want to get involved with us, and we support as many charities in the area as we can. But we think it's more effective to go into an area and support the charities of that area rather than large national charities, because then we don't know whether that money's staying in the area where we are.
The charities tonight that are being served, United Cerebral Palsy Association, Pine Street Inn, the Shriners Hospital in Springfield, and Youth Build. And I'm sure they'll be more than pleased to be helped out by the monies that are raised tonight. It's not the sold-out house that you guys played to your last trip in, but there are a lot of energetic and enthusiastic fans here tonight.
I mean, the people that are here are the ones that are important, because no matter how many we get, it's going to go to a good cause, and that's really what it's all about. That's the nice about the charity hockey team, because we can get to travel North America, play for charities that are around, and different individuals have their own charities back home. But here as a team, we can touch more people, and that's really what it's all about. And us as hockey players get to skate with our childhood idols in situations we would have never dreamed of. The Boston Garden, I mean, this is not supposed to happen.
Well, downstairs, Gene Levanchi is standing by with a couple of the celebs, Alan Thicke and Dennis Leary. And Gene, would you ask Dennis? I mean, he should be a comedian. He's treated offsides as if it were a joke the whole first period.
I'll ask him that right now. I'll start with you, Dennis. Dave Shea wants to know, you are a comedian and you've treated offsides as a joke the whole first period, he says.
Hey, you know what? We're compensating for, there's a couple of Hall of Famers on that team. So we had a team meeting, we're going to compensate by keeping me down, you know, in the offensive zone at all times.
All right, so you were allergic to the defensive end, is that?
No, I'm not allergic to it. I just don't like it a whole lot. You know, if I'm in it for a long time, I puke. You know, so and I don't want to puke. It's on TV. So.
Well, here at the Garden, your last visit in, that wouldn't be
right.
right.
Puke on the last trip. You know.
Speaking of that, I know Alan, you've been here before, and this is a special trip for you, being
Speaking of puking, and then you turn to me and say I've been here before.
You know, it seemed like a natural segue.
Jason Priestley was so handsome on television. Then he turns to me and says, "Speaking of puking, I don't know. Should I on his head? Should I? Are we celebrating the champagne toast?" I'm sorry, Gene. I lost my train of thought.
What was the question? I don't even remember. Oh, yeah, coming in the Garden for final time. I know you're obviously a huge hockey fan. This is going to be a special trip for you.
It is. I've been here before. I've been here for some celebrations of the real guys. You know, when Boston had won the Stanley Cup in the past. I was here the night that Edmonton beat the Bruins for a Stanley Cup a few years ago. But we're the visiting team. We can say that. And so I've seen some historic moments here. And it is a shame to see the old building go down, but everybody seems pretty excited about the new one going up. And
needs a name. That's been the big controversy.
Yeah, we were thinking of calling it the Thicke Center, weren't we, Dennis?
Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that.
Dennis had planned on maybe you know, carving a couple seats out of the old building and making.
He did that as a kid,
those.
so
yeah. So we're sorry to see it go down, but we're glad to be a part of the end of anything, I guess.
So maybe I should puke because, you know,
it's not too late.
It'd be the last guy to puke in the Garden.
Never too late.
Well, there's still a few events left here.
Oh, really?
And I think
I'll come in and puke at the end.
I think Ottawa comes in, so plenty of fans will be hurling as well.
Wait for the Engelbert concert. We can all do it together.
What about Dennis? I mean, you've been here as a kid. This has a little more significance to you. As you grew up, you had a lot of memories here, and you came to games as a kid.
Used to sneak in here and many times, and I remember, and I lived in Charlestown during the 80s, actually, during that Edmonton, that famous game where the power went out. That was our idea. And we snuck up behind the Garden and unplugged it.
You guys had the clapper and you...
Well, people don't know this. It's just one big plug. It's a giant plug outside that they plug in, and it powers the whole Garden because, you know, Sinden didn't want to modernize, you know. So, but I remember all that stuff, yeah. I used to live, you know, I used to walk here. I lived 2 blocks away.
Well, the new building goes up. I want to ask you guys quickly, we wrap it up. What can we expect in the second period here, Alan?
Puking, I heard, from over there, Dennis. We're counting on big things from Dennis. Dennis is playing his first game with the celebrity team, and he's got good legs and good hands, and we're counting on him maybe potting a couple the last period.
I understand, possibly on the trading block. We've seen one in the first period, maybe another coming. Could involve this guy.
Money's right.
Yeah, and I'm going to fight O'Reilly in the second period.
Yeah.
Is he aware of this?
Guaranteed. No, I don't think so, but...
No, that's Susan O'Reilly.
Susan O'Reilly?
An usher. Yeah.
And remember, he's also wearing a cage, so, you know, come on, all right? Guys, we appreciate it. Alan Thicke, Dennis Leary, thank you very much for joining us. Continue the good show here in the second period. We'll send it back upstairs to Dan and Dave and Jason.
All right, Gene, thank you. Think we ought to get Dennis a flight bag for the last 2 periods?
I think we ought to do something, but I want to talk to Alan about that fgoing he has with Dennis's legs.
And also the fixation with Dennis puking.
Dennis may be the last one in the Garden. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll be ready for second period action. The Celebrity Salute to the Boston Garden continues in just a moment.